reality check is, as we've talked about, you've got to be able to drive new visitors and customers to your product or service, or you are pretty much dead, right? So really, media buying comes down to traffic generation and conversion. All right. Now, it turns out after now having taught this stuff for outside my companies for a little over 6 months now, I guess I've been doing this. I've now had a much, much clearer picture on why this topic of media buying is so utterly confusing to people. First off, and again, many of you have seen me say this before, but in this game, nobody teaches fundamentals, right? It's all about, you know, that latest clickbank product that's going to promise you riches, this new hidden source of traffic that is supposedly going to make you rich. I mean, look, all that stuff is bullshit. Sorry for swearing, but it is. It's like it's stupid. I laugh at that stuff. You have to learn fundamentals. Virtually every big guy that I know in the space, and whether that's guys that own affiliate networks, guys that are affiliate, guys that are doing 2,000-3,000 sales a day on product, when I talk to these guys in private, you know what? They're all fundamental-based guys. These are all guys that understand that media buying is really simply a tool of customer generation. And they've nailed up every aspect of the process, from where to buy, how to buy, the math behind it. So they learn fundamentals first before they move on to techniques. There are a lot of crappy teachers. I'm definitely not going to name names, but you know, as I look out there at people that try to attack this topic, there are just a lot of bad people that you know, or maybe they're good people, but their material is old. In part, why I mentioned cranky media early in the call is that we do media buying. I mean, we go out there and we buy. It's not mind-blowing numbers. We're still a new business, but you know, it's anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 a day in traffic, right? And the reason I mention that is because you all intuitively know that this space changes a lot, and it changes quickly. So you have to be kind of doing this stuff each and every day to keep current on what's out there. Okay, so they may not be bad teachers, but their material is pretty much old. But then finally, there's a lot of stuff that hits you as the potential media buyer. There's a lot that goes on in just building a business. Even just getting to $100 a day can be really hard. You know, where do you do it? What do you focus on? Which affiliate network? You know, which offer? Which piece of creative should I use tracking to track this stuff? Should I go on Facebook? So it's overwhelming to people. And so people that are, you know, in that bottom quadrant that I talk about that are making money, they already get this, but they've kind of overcome the first hurdle, which is, you know, focusing on a couple key things. The person that's just starting out that wants to make money for the first time, definitely overload, right? Overload. The second thing is conversion. Conversion is a topic unto itself. If we had another 30 hours on this call, we could certainly talk about conversion, the elements necessary to make something convert. Again, guys, traffic is pretty easy. It's remarkably easy for me to generate 100,000 clicks a day. I know where to go. I know exactly what to buy. The challenge for most people is converting it. How do you convert that into a paying customer? And that's a whole science that we tackle in a lot of my course material. But it really is a big topic unto itself, okay? But look, I don't want to scare you, right? Because I've come before you, and I can tell you that a number of great marketers have come before you as well. So I want to tell you that you can do this. You can go out and create businesses through media buying. I call these guys traffic bandits. I've had the good fortune of studying many, many prolific marketers, some that are way, way more prolific than myself, you know, that have done very, very big volume. I call these guys traffic bandits. Some of you were asking, can we ask questions at the end? So absolutely, I'll hang out with you guys as long as it takes to get, you know, every question answered. But anyway, look, I call these guys traffic bandits. Traffic bandits are guys that over the years have what I call stolen inventory from big brand marketers. And there's not only more of them now, but they're smaller and bigger and more aggressive. I mean, smaller in terms of, like, there's one guy, like this guy right here, was one of my biggest affiliates when I ran AdX. You know, was doing between 2,000 sales a day for me. He's one guy. I call him the big wave surfer. You know, I mean, there's guys like the engineer who used to work for me at Yahoo, went out and made $5 million in 3 months. You know, the Rhodes Scholar. This is my my friend Nunu, who ran a company called The Useful back in the day. And so, I mean, the reality is that there are plenty of examples before you, and there will be plenty of examples after you. So you've got no like good reason not to do this stuff. There's so many examples of these guys. These are just three. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Peak Performance Golf. It was a go nothing, do nothing, ClickBank product that embraced media buying. Began to buy display-based advertising on places like MSN, AOL, Yahoo. Got creamed for the first month, right? But kept at it. In a year's time, built a database of 700,000 golfers, right? Using display-based media. Okay. Places like Truth About Abs, a diet solution program. These guys are dominant in their niche, right? These are ClickBank products that are dominating display-based media based on their ability to jump out of the whole joint venture game and start buying advertising for these big verticals. Like, golf's a big vertical. Diet is a huge, huge vertical. You should have seen the kind of ads that we were running in January for all of our diet clients. So these are big, big verticals, guys. I mean, but it can be smaller stuff like Captain Chris. This guy does a self-defense program. You've probably seen this ad, this warning ad on the right-hand side. This guy's doing massive, massive volume in a smaller vertical. And then finally, guys like Double Your Dating, Evan Pagan. This guy built a $20 million a year business on the idea of, helping people date, right? And he used display-based media to do it, all right? So, look, there are a lot of people before you, there are a lot after you. It's just a function of you having the willingness and desire to do it, okay? And then I put here in the end 10,000 super affiliates. Just do me a favor. I mean, go to Affiliate Summit, go to AdTech, go to LeadsCon, and you'll see exactly what I mean. A lot of what I do with people in terms of the program that I offer them is we do walk-arounds. We actually walk to the show. So imagine you, me, and about 30 other guys walking these massive shows with 5,000 other affiliates, guys like, Facebook and Google and all the affiliate networks, and I'll make, one-on-one introductions to you guys. Because a lot of this stuff, honestly, is you got to get out of the theory mode and you got to actually start doing stuff. And getting out of your chair behind your computer and going to some of these shows oftentimes makes the biggest difference. Okay, so here's the landscape. Some of you guys have seen my stuff, have seen this landscape before, so it might appear to be redundant. I'm going to focus on the ones to the left: social media, ad networks, and portals. And if you go back to the three types of constituents that I service, like they blend very well with the first three. Like social media ends up being a great place for beginners to start. It also ends up being an amazing place for the advanced guys as well, just by virtue of the volume that's being driven through social media. Ad networks end up being a fairly more advanced topic. I mean, most people don't start jumping into places like AdBlade or AdSonar if they don't know what they're doing.